What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. Okay, guys, so we are actually going to continue our coverage over John Byrne's Wonder Woman's run. Now remember, when it came to John Byrne, he took over the title in the year 1995 all the way up to 1998. And really, it was John Byrne trying to add some flavor to the title. And so when he came into the series, he began to add a bunch of new things for the character of Wonder Woman. So for example, he gave her a city to work out of, which was Gateway City. On top of that, he gave her new characters to interact with, like Cassandra Sandmark, the soon-to-be Wonder Girl. He did a lot of different things when it came to the series of Wonder Girl. Now at this point in our coverage, we already covered at least 3 of his stories. Now with that being said, we're going to cover a couple of one-shots. Now when it comes to these one-shots, they're really made more of to kind of wrap up a previous story, but at the same time set up things to come down the road. And so in today's video, we're going to cover issues number 113 and issue number 114. And so getting into Wonder Woman number 113, it actually does come out of what we saw in our last video. And what I mean by that is, in our last video, we actually saw the beginning process of Cassandra Sandmark becoming Wonder Girl. Now, with that being said, it wasn't official just yet, but it's John Byrne saying, give me time, because sooner or later, you're gonna see her become Wonder Girl officially down the road, just not yet. But in our last video, we saw that Diana gave her a bunch of different artifacts that gave Cassandra abilities to use out in the field. And so in our last video, when Diana, Wonder Woman, was fighting against a clone Doomsday, you had Cassandra jumped in and try to help out. Now she almost got killed by Doomsday, but luckily Diana was able to stop Doomsday. Now with that being said though, right now we pick up with her mother, Helena, being very upset about the idea that her daughter was out there fighting against a clone Doomsday, but on top of that, she's upset about the idea that Diana wants to continue to train Cassandra into becoming a better Wonder Girl. And for Helena, it's a no automatically. And honestly, she has the right to say no, because this is her daughter, and her daughter is out there fighting against powerful beings, and she just got lucky last time when it came to fighting a clone of Doomsday. Now, when it comes to Cassandra, she was kind of hoping that Diana would force her mom to change her opinion, but for Diana, she's like, no, I told you I'll talk to your mom about the idea, but if she says no, then that's it. I cannot change your mom's mind when it comes to her child, you. Unfortunately, you have to move on. And then this leads into the problem of this one shot right here, where you have Cassandra not okay about the idea of just being told no, about the idea that she cannot be Wonder Girl. And so her thought process is to technically show her mom and Diana that she could be a great Wonder Girl. And so she goes into Diana's room and she steals the artifacts that she used in our last video that gave her different kinds of abilities, and goes out there to be Wonder Girl one more time to hopefully say, I can show you guys I can be a great hero. Now this is where you have issue number 113 wrap up loose ends from our last video. Because remember, in our last video, we had a character known as Dr. Lazarus, who was working on a machine where he would have the ability to create artificial clones. The problem was though, his son died while working on that experiment. And so he made an AI version of his son, and he was going to make an artificial body for the AI to be plugged into. The problem was though, while working on that body, the AI version of his son took over his artificial machine and began to make clones of different characters in DC Comics: Flash, Sinestro, Doomsday, and also Decay. But Decay was the only clone to get away at the end of that last story. Now, when it comes to Decay, the original one has been dead for a few years. And matter of fact, the original one is the daughter of Medusa. either way, when it comes to this clone, it really does believe it is the real version of Decay, but it also realized that the body it's in right now, it needs some kind of machine to stay alive. Because at the end of our last video, our heroes were able to figure out a way to shut down machine to stop all the clones from actually working. Except when it came to Decay, Decay stayed alive and got away. And so right now Decay realized that sooner or later its body is actually going to fall apart. And so it needs a certain kind of machine to technically stay alive. And of course, that leads us right into Wonder Girl, Cassandra, finding out about Decay. Because while you have her out there right now just going around the city, she's trying to find a bad guy. Because if she's able to actually defeat a bad guy, it will feed into her idea that she is actually a great hero, that she can do great things. And so we see her right now just going out of her way to hopefully find a bad guy to capture. Now, while she's flying around town, she overhears a bunch of cops right now talking about what Decay had actually done at this laboratory, but also what Decay has stolen as well. And so with that being said, it's Wonder Girl realizing that she has a bad guy in Gateway City that she wants to go capture. And so of course she begins her adventure to look for Decay. Now that is the moment where we actually do see Cassandra being able to actually find Decay. Now, when Cassandra finds Decay, at first we do see the struggles, the problems of Cassandra. And what I mean by that is, when she does find Decay, she's a little bit overconfident about her abilities, because she truly believes that she has the ability to actually stop someone like Decay. And that's her problem right there, because when it comes to Decay, you always have to be on your A game. Decay is not one of those characters where you can just goof around. No, Decay can literally kill you just like that. And so you have Decay just fight against Cassandra, but when they're fighting, you have Decay being able to actually touch Cassandra. And when she does, her arm begins to slowly decay. Now, thankfully for Cassandra, she is wearing one of the artifacts that Diana gave her, and so she was able to actually resist the full power of Decay. But at the same time though, Decay is slowly losing her powers. And the reason why, because the body she's in, the clone body, is also falling apart. And so she needs to quickly use the machine that she's stolen to hopefully save her body and to also get back to full strength. Now, luckily for Cassandra, she was able to steal the machine away from Decay, except Decay still wants the machine back, and so now you have Decay chasing down Cassandra for the machine. But then we jump back over to the home of the Sandmarks. Now, Diana was supposed to babysit Cassandra. And so right now, Diana thinks that Cassandra is just upstairs doing her homework. She has no idea that Cassandra had technically snuck out the house and also stolen the artifacts from her room. And so when Diana goes upstairs, she realized that Cassandra had technically snuck out and also had stolen the artifacts from her room. And so now it's Diana realizing that she has to go find Cassandra before Cassandra gets herself killed. And so getting back over to Cassandra, we actually do see Cassandra right now still trying to get away from Decay. Now, luckily for Cassandra, that is the moment where you do have Diana step in. Now, when Diana actually steps in, it's really more Diana being confused at first. And the reason why, because like I said earlier, when it came to Decay, the original one, died a few years ago and been dead for a very good period of time in DC Comics. And so for Diana, Wonder Woman, she's very confused about the idea of how in the world Decay is here right now. And so you do have Cassandra being able to tell Diana, no, that is a clone of Decay. The same clone, or one of the clones from Dr. Lazarus' lab. Now for Diana, she's kind of confused because when it came to Doomsday, he was also a clone, but he was shut down. And so now she's wondering why in the world this clone right here has not been shut down yet. And that is the moment you have Diana say that when it comes to this clone right here, it's technically being controlled by the spirit of Decay. And so even though Decay died many years ago, right now the spirit of Decay has somehow possessed the body of the clone of Decay. And so that is why this clone is technically still around, but the body is slowly dying off. And that is why it does need a machine to technically stay alive. Now, that is the moment you do have Diana just take out Decay by literally smashing the body to multiple pieces. And now with that being said, Decay is defeated but not technically gone, because what Diana says is that because the spirit of Decay was possessing this body, she's afraid to actually kill off the body completely, because then the spirit might try to find something else to possess and come back again. And so with the body being broken and unable to reattach itself, Decay is technically stuck in that body forever and the day is saved. And so getting into Wonder Woman number 114, we actually do pick up with another character known as Vanessa Capitalis. Now, when it comes to Vanessa Capitalis, she's actually an old character by this point in DC Comics, but it's John Byrne beginning the process of actually making her the next Silver Swan. Now, the reason why I say the next one, because at this point in DC Comics, we already had two of them. By 2001, she'll be the third one. Now, Vanessa is an old character. She's been around for a good period of time by this point in DC Comics. And the reason why, because when Diana, Wonder Woman, was working out of Boston, she had a mentor, which was Vanessa's mother. And so over time, Diana and Vanessa became close friends. Now, when we actually do pick up with Vanessa, she's having a nightmare, a truly messed up nightmare. And so because she's having this nightmare right now, she's having a hard time trying to escape it. And we'll come to find out why down the road in this video. But in this nightmare, she's melting. On top of that, there's monsters trying to eat her. She's honestly having one of the worst nightmares a young girl could possibly have. And then for Vanessa, her dreams begin to get even worse. And the reason why, because you actually do pick up right now with Vanessa being saved by Diana, Wonder Woman. Now you're probably wondering, hey Fresh, why in the world did you just say that her dreams is about to get a whole lot worse? Because when it comes to Vanessa, she truly hasn't realized yet that right now she's stuck in some kind of nightmare. And so when she sees Diana, at first she's happy about the idea that Diana came and saved her. But then she begins to wonder, how in the world did Diana get here so fast? How in the world did Diana realize that she, Vanessa, was in trouble? And so that is the moment you have Diana say, oh, I saved you so I can kill you myself. And so you actually have Diana begin the process of attacking Vanessa. Now, for Vanessa, she's wondering what in the world is going on, because like I said earlier, when Diana was in Boston, her and Vanessa, they built a tight bond with one another. But here you are right now, and you actually have Diana about to kill off Vanessa. And Vanessa hasn't realized that she's in some kind of nightmare. But right when it seems like Diana is about to kill her, bam, she's able to actually come out of her nightmare. But then we jump over to Boston. Now, when we do, we jump over to a random facility. And matter of fact, with this facility, they're holding a particular person. And that particular person is Dr. Psycho. Now, when it comes to Dr. Psycho, he is technically a powerful psychic, but right now he's trying to use his abilities to technically break out of this prison to hopefully get revenge against Wonder Woman. But getting back over to Vanessa, that is the moment we realize that when it came to her nightmares earlier, they weren't technically nightmares. Yes, they were, but in reality, they were being used as a way to torture her by Dr. Psycho, as a way to get to Wonder Woman, because Dr. Psycho was able to figure out that Vanessa is a close friend of Diana. And the reason why I'm saying that, because you do have Vanessa get out of her bed and go downstairs to see her mother. Now, when she does see her mother is actually ignoring her completely, pretending that she does not hear Vanessa at all. And Vanessa is scared like no other and trying to tell her mom, something is wrong with me. I feel like something is happening to my mind. And when it comes to her mother, at first, she's ignoring Vanessa. But then you have her mother just turn around and look at Vanessa and turn into some kind of monster. And this is Dr. Psycho using his psychic abilities to play mind games with Vanessa. And so when she does see her mother right now as this monster, she begins to freak out and thinks that she's about to be killed off by her mother. Except that is the moment you have Diana just come in gun blazing, just shooting up the place left and right and shooting at the mother of Vanessa. Now, of course, that does kill off the mother of Vanessa, but not really, because again, it's Dr. Psycho right now just playing mind games with Vanessa. But of course, you have Diana walk away acting like she had just saved the day, even though she used 2 big guns to shoot up the place. You have Vanessa turn around and see her mom bleeding out. Now, you didn't have Vanessa go chase down Diana because she just watched Diana kill off her mother with 2 big guns. Now, Vanessa hasn't realized yet that this is not real, that this is Dr. Psycho right now playing mind games with her. Either way, you have Vanessa go and confront Diana, and when she does, you have Diana turn around and begin to attack Vanessa. And Vanessa is now running away. Now, Vanessa realized this can't be real. It has to be a dream or some kind of mind game. But then she realized it's Dr. Psycho, because Vanessa has some run-ins with Dr. Psycho in the past alongside with Wonder Woman. And so she realized this can't be real. It has to be fake. It's Dr. Psycho. Now, this is where the story kind of wraps up very quickly. And what I mean by that is because while you have Vanessa trying to stay alive long enough so that Diana can't kill her, because even though this is a mind game, Dr. Psycho can play your mind so much that when you get hit, he'll make your mind actually believe that you actually got hit. And so if the fake Diana stabs Vanessa, Vanessa's mind will believe that she's actually been stabbed and could possibly kill her. And so Vanessa's right now freaking out and trying to stay alive. But like I said, this is where the story kind of wraps up very quickly, because that is the moment where Vanessa dreams actually turns into a beautiful dream, where Diana is no longer trying to attack her, that her nightmare is over, and then she's able to wake up and go downstairs and see her mom for breakfast. And so now the question is, what happened to Dr. Psycho then? Because we saw him earlier being able to break out of the facility that he was being kept in. But on top of that though, he was playing mind games with Vanessa. What happened to Dr. Psycho where Vanessa is no longer being tortured by him? And we come to find out that when it came to Dr. Psycho, after he was able to break out of the facility in Boston, well, technically out of his cell, once he got outside, something happened to his mind, where his mind was just shut down completely. And so when you have the guards find him, they're like, oh, he's right here and he's been defeated. But how? Who in the world actually stopped him? You know what? Who cares? Go ahead and take him away. And so we're left to wonder what exactly happened to Dr. Psycho. Who actually defeated Dr. Psycho? But then we jump over to Louisiana. Now, when we do, we actually pick up with Hippolyta, because you have to remember that when it came to Diana leaving Themyscira, so did Hippolyta. She left right after Diana had left. Now, when it came to Hippolyta, she went to Louisiana. And the reason why, because she still wants to watch over her daughter, but at the same time keep some distance from her daughter as well. And so she went over to Louisiana. Now, right now, we see her at a clinic getting a checkup. And the reason why, because she feels like something is wrong with her. And that is the moment you have this doctor tell Hippolyta that you are right now turning back into clay. That apparently because you left the mascara, you're turning back into clay. Meaning that sooner or later, Hippolyta could possibly die. And this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, I'll see y'all next time. Later.